In this episode of Voice of the Sea, we're talking aquaculture jobs and internships. From cutting-edge commercial aquaculture in Hawaii to village-level aquaponics in American Samoa.
Oh my.
We start off at Heʻeia loko ia, a traditional fish pond on Oʻahu, talking to Paepae o Heʻeia mentor Keahi Pi'iohia and intern Ka'ehukai Burke. But first, we learn about the Aquaculture Internship Program with Annie Nanea Rosa from Hawaii Sea Grant. What is aquaculture?
Aquaculture is basically farming in water. So it could be a variety of things. It could be aquaponics, so plants and fish together in tanks on land. It could be farming in the ocean, like here at Heʻeia Fish Pond, in traditional Hawaiian fish ponds in loko ia. It could be commercial production of algae or limu. Or fish offshore in cages, like our other interns are in Hawaii Island. There's 30 different interns that are sponsored over the 2 years of this aquaculture workforce internship program, and they're throughout Hawaii as well as in the Pacific, including Guam and American Samoa. They start all the way from high school students that are doing work study, all the way up to early career individuals or even career changers that are looking to get into aquaculture. All of the interns in this project are getting paid for the work that they're doing, even the high school students, so that they can choose this type of work study versus another summer job to make ends meet. In some cases, they're working for an entire year full time, and so they really are part of the staff and an important part of the operation of these different aquaculture facilities and loko ia, and it makes it possible for the interns to actually pick up this career.
Are there a lot of job opportunities here in Hawaii in the Pacific for aquaculture?
Yeah, there's continuous job opportunities for aquaculture in Hawaii and the Pacific, and we try to share those as well. So part of this project is on our Sea Grant website. We have a listing of the different aquaculture jobs that are currently available.
Why aquaculture?
Hawaii has a heritage of aquaculture, so we're here at Heʻeia Fish Pond on the island of Oʻahu, and that's a big part of Hawaii's aquaculture heritage is the Hawaiian fish ponds. It's also because of food sustainability in Hawaii as well as in the Pacific.
In Hawaii, we consume 30 million pounds of seafood a year. Where does that come from? You know, it's not coming from here. When there's 20 fish ponds back in the bay, then we can talk about sustainably feeding our communities. But today, we feed them by standing at the makaha, and I see a big school of fish swim by, and then it's not a dream anymore. It's not just on mo'olelo that they said, oh, all the fish come to the makaha, they see it. Yeah, and that's the feeding we're doing right now. We do monthly fishing days where community can come and catch predator fish, and those predator fishes they can take home and feed their families with. So that's to'ao, barracudas, papios, and tilapias. And that's one way we're getting fish into people's homes and out into the community. The biggest teacher here is the fish pond. I feel like even though I've been here for 14 years, like the place is constantly changing, constantly seeing new things. Every day I'm still learning. I've been fortunate to help younger aloha aina warriors, younger people that are interested in this type of work, or just even to understand this type of work, to maybe just find their footing in these spaces. Because it's like, you may know, it's not easy to find your footing, even physically, just to walk through the mud, but really just to find your footing in life, and see the value of this. Because a simple question I ask to a lot of students that come here is, number one, if they want to see Hawaii sustainable, and number two, if they want to actually do those jobs that make Hawaii sustainable, and it's something a lot of people, that's not their end goal. They want to see it sustainable, but they might not want to do the work that it takes to get there. So that's where I come in, to try to motivate and try to encourage them that, yeah, this is a great path, and yeah, we've had great success here.
What is your role here at Heʻeia?
So my role here is to be a kia'i of the pond, to take care, to be a guardian of the pond and protect it. It's cool because we get to do a lot of different things every day. We do everything from restoring the pond wall to taking care of the water, doing water quality checks, as well as taking invasives out of the pond. We also take care of a section of land that surrounds the pond in the back. We do a lot of farming, kalo, mai'a, really all different native plants that we're trying to put back there.
Do you know what kinds of fish you're trying to grow here?
Yeah. We focus a lot on the ama. We have moi, we have pualu, we have avas, and we have some carnivorous fish too. We have kaku, papio, we have some invasives. A lot of what we do is we manage the amount of salt water and fresh water that come into the pond. Because when we get the perfect ratio of fresh and salt water, it creates the brackish water that allows phytoplankton to survive. And the fish that we want inside here are herbivorous fish, and that's what they feed on, is phytoplankton. So the more that we can get the phytoplankton to grow, the more fish that, especially the smaller fish, will be able to feed and grow, which will turn into bigger fish. Yeah.
Can you tell me about the different kinds of internship programs you guys have here?
Yeah. The mainstay of our internship program is our summer internship program. It's a 9-week program. It's to turn young adults into kia'i loko, or into mahi'i'a. The second internship we do, and we've been doing it for a few years, is through kupu. And that is a year-long internship, a full-time internship. They don't do anything different than we would do every day. Our guys are chainsawing, they're pulling out the mangroves, they're pulling out the invasive species, they're planting, they're fishing, they're eating, they're doing the exact same things as us.
What are your goals going forward?
Going forward, I plan to do aina my whole life. I see a sustainable future, yeah. Moving Hawaii towards a sustainable future, a better future. Yeah, hopefully a better future for my kids, my keiki and my family, and for other families, my community.
If other people who watch this are interested in doing an internship like you, like what kind of skills or how should they get themselves ready?
There's no requirement for your skill level in aina. What the requirement is that you show up and you work it, you give your all, you know? So I would recommend volunteering in different places, and that can give you a step in the door to figure out what you want to do. I would definitely recommend the kupu internship. That was something that has blessed my life in many different ways, and I've been able to learn so much from just being in this internship. The cool thing about the internship is it's not just a lokoia internship. You can go to all different kind of places and figure out what it is you like to do, whether it's the science aspect of things, whether it's trail, whether it's invasives, whether it's, you know, building, or lokoia, you know. If you're just in your space and taking care of the spot, I think it's gonna give back more than you could even get paid. But I'm also looking for the answer to that question. How am I gonna make this a career? And really, I think it comes down to nonprofit organizations and grant funding. I think there's money out there for people who are looking for aina jobs. I think you just gotta go look for it. It's there. Yeah, it's there. I think it's there.
The main dream I'm trying to hold on to right now is that our kids want to eat this type of fish. Our kids only know 2 fish, and that's ahi and salmon, unfortunately. So one of my hopes and my dreams is that mullet, yeah, ama is eaten regularly, that aholeholes, papios, kaku, pualu are like names that all kids know and all kids drop. Because if they're not eating it, they're not eating this type of fish, which they're not right now, the dream of the loko kind of dies, right? Like if the next generation doesn't eat this type of fish. A lot of kids come here, catch their first to'au, catch their first papio, catch their first kaku. They come in, we clean it, we cook it, we eat it. When people look at this as their refrigerator again, well, we'll succeed for sure, because every single kid, every single person will treat it differently. So,
how did you come to be in this position?
Being lighter color Hawaiian, I always wanted to do the most Hawaiian things. And maybe that was just to prove it to myself that I was or I wasn't, you know. I took all the Hawaiian language classes I could, did all the Hawaiian things I could, and I was like, I want to be a cauliflower. I went to UH, did Hawaiian studies, loved it. I applied for this internship. Yeah, so you're talking about being a mentor, like I started off in their shoes. When I became an intern, it was like this, like, oh, Hawaii's not gonna be here if we don't do this. Oh yeah, you can get a job in construction, you can go get, and those are all necessary jobs, don't get me wrong. But like, if we don't do this, how we're gonna lose the true Hawaiʻi that we talk about, yeah? The one that's on the postcard, the one that is almost a dream at some states of the Hawaiʻi we once thought of. Like really, if I don't do this, like my kids won't do this, and then their kids won't do this. This type of work is more important than I ever imagined.
The University of Hawaii's Sea Grant College program focused on Hawaii's coasts and its communities through sustainable development, safe seafood supply, sustainable coastal tourism, hazard resilience, and healthy coastal ecosystems. Hawaii's Sea Grant.
You're watching Voice of the Sea. We're on Hawaiʻi Island at Blue Ocean Mariculture's cutting-edge kanpachi hatchery and offshore facility, talking with mentor Federico Rotman and intern Luca Palazzo. What is your role here at Blue Ocean Mariculture?
I'm kind of all over the place right now. Today I'm in brood stock, kind of collecting spawns every day, collecting data on fertilization rate, viable eggs, measuring the size. So we're not collecting any of these eggs right now, we're just getting data for future reference. In the nursery, mostly just feeding for right now, making sure the fish stay alive, cleaning tanks at the beginning and end of the day.
The growth opportunities for this industry are huge. If you start looking at the big picture math on seafood and the need and the demand that there is, it's huge. One of the bigger challenges that we have here as a hatchery in Hawaii is the workforce itself. Because we don't have much of an industry, especially in the US, if you go to other parts of the world, there's actually quite a bit of aquaculture happening. The Mediterranean, I always use as an example. They do branzino, sea bass, sea bream, they grow a lot of it. There's thousands of people trained in this. The US, just not much of an industry, so when we're looking for staff, we have to look beyond, the regular checklist. Most folks don't have experience in this, so we really try to hone in on finding the right personalities that like the concept of farming. We try to get folks right out of grad school, right out of undergrad school, and we've had a number of interns come through the years. We are the workforce development in essence here. This is where a lot of people get their hands-on necessary skill sets within aquaculture. We have to manage these large populations of animals. They have a lot of science, measurements of weights, lengths, all the water chemistry, all that feeds into our database system, and our technicians work with it day to day. So they really get to kind of tie together the science, the day-to-day, the data to the actual culture of the animals. So then those two play hand in hand. This is a very data science driven process. Everything from oxygen levels in the tanks to how much water is flowing through our systems. Feeding rates, really important. We are very, very carefully calculate how much food each fish gets, basically on a day-to-day basis, all based on percentages of their body mass, really get to know about the biology of the fish, really in-depth reproductive biology, larval biology, nutrition, pathology. I mean, you can pretty much name off all the different sciences that we deal with on a day-to-day basis that people get training in. Microbiology, we do a lot of bacterial plating. We have a little tiny lab in the back. So the staff get good, rounded training. With Luca, our current intern, obviously very intelligent and adopts the concept of taking care of animals, but he also has he's a good carpenter, these are other skill sets that a fish farm needs, right? Not only your scientific skills, but you being able to use a saw and a drill and drive a forklift, all this stuff really plays into it. So yeah, and the mentorship to me, watching somebody come through here, have an experience, then get a job or an opportunity somewhere else and just watch them kind of grow and take off is awesome. About as exciting as producing fish, putting them in a cage and watching them flourish, right? There's something similar there. I don't know, I guess I just connected those dots. Maybe something similar there, but it really is, it's very gratifying. No matter how much data you have, the most important thing we talk about here a lot, kind of laughable, is the blue thumb. It's like the green thumb with plants, the blue thumb with fish. There is some people, and I'd say Luca I can see it, some people that are just really good with the animals, and their instinct catches things that the numbers never catch, right? You get the one fish that's acting weird. He's like, what's that fish doing? That could be that first sign of a little problem that, you can fix early. You can see some people just love it too. So, yeah.
Right now we're in the Makai nursery, hanging out with some kanpachi. These guys are about 40 grams right now. About time for offshore transfers. And these guys will be going out to the nets in the pelagic area pretty soon.
What made you interested in an aquaculture internship?
I definitely wanted to get some hands-on experience within the field, something related to my major. So I'm a marine science major over at UH. Yeah, just wanted to get some good hands-on experience, get some networking started. Definitely learned a lot of husbandry skills regarding fish. So far I'm really enjoying it. It's a lot of useful information, and I think sustainability and food security, those are big important things to me, and that's kind of what aquaculture is all about, so very important.
How long have you been involved in aquaculture?
I've been involved about 30 years now. I found that there was a lot of opportunity, not only on the commercial level to commercialize all this stuff, but also R&D. There's all these unanswered questions where I was like, this is super exciting, and it's real baseline stuff, still big picture questions to answer. So I got excited by that. And then when I got my hands on the actual aquaculture and I started growing fish, I realized that, like a lot of the folks I work with here, is that the actual act of growing animals is actually really, really fun. It's satisfying. It brings back a lot of positive energy at the end. You're doing something very functionally useful. You're making food.
And if you work here, do you get to eat the kanpachi?
Absolutely. Actually, each employee gets basically one free fish every week, roughly. So yeah, it's actually a great part of our benefits package. We got the 401k, we got this, and then we got the free fish. It helps. Yeah.
We are looking for a few heroes, mentors, trailblazers, innovators, a passion to change lives, spark curiosity, open hearts, and awaken minds, help students answer the question, who am I? This could be your calling, but this is no job. It's the journey of a lifetime. Be a hero. Be a teacher.
You're watching Voice of the Sea. We're at the American Samoa Community College Aquaculture Research and Teaching Facility, talking home and village level fish and plant farming systems with mentor Kelly Anderson Tagarino and intern Koloi Ioane. What do we have here?
So we have the mixed breed tilapia.
Oh, wow. Oh, they're pretty.
Yeah.
Oh, is this a size that you would harvest at, Koloi?
Oh no, we would harvest bigger ones. I'll try to get the bigger ones.
Oh! Wow. Oh my. Wow. Oh yeah.
So,
Tell me about your projects.
So I have two projects that we're working on. So the first project is a tilapia report. Me and my colleagues are going around the island, seeing how many stores that are selling tilapias, the amount like they're selling for, and then see how many tilapias are being imported, the frozen fish. And then see if farming our own fish can decrease the amount or the cost of it. The cost of tilapia fish getting shipped in is getting expensive.
Plus, they might taste better than ones you're growing yourself.
Yeah. I think if you farm your own fish, the taste is always better compared to like not knowing what goes into the fish that's being shipped in.
And fresher too.
Yeah, fresher too. Yeah. The second project is my aquaponics system that I'm trying to build at the house and then see how it works out, if it's going to be good or not. But, yeah.
Tell me about the class that you're taking as part of this internship.
So that just started this week. So still in like a fresh learning progress, trying to learn all the ropes for aquaponics and maybe start my own and then get the mix of aquaponics and hydroponics. So we've been trying out different varieties of plants, and the plant we've seen and with the best results are mints, basils, taros, and then
Yeah, green onions are like the best result that we've gotten from this kind of system.
If people in American Samoa are interested in being part of this program or just doing aquaculture, aquaponics on their own, how do they get involved?
So they can just come by or give us a call, and they can call the land grant direct line 699-1575, or just come by the college and ask for the aquaculture building, and we're happy to come out and talk with them about possible approaches. We can come out and look at their land, give them suggestions. Anybody can do it. You don't have to have a lot of land. Sometimes people say, what is an aqua farmer? It's anyone. We have a woman who just bought a big cooler, and that's her fish tank for now. She plans to save up and get an above ground pool and upgrade to that. You can be creative in what you keep your fish in, but it's really just a desire to be able to have fish for your family or your village, or even to sell to stores.
If people want to be like you, to get an internship in learning about aquaculture, what advice do you have?
I would say just apply for the job. At first, I didn't have much experience coming into this workforce, and I was kind of hesitant. I would say it worked out because it's an internship, and then you're able to gain knowledge, and then the whole sites are always able to provide you with any help that you need.
And what do you find exciting or rewarding about aquaculture?
I think it is just letting people know that we have the access to it, because being able to share the knowledge with the community, being able to go out to the community and then show them that this is an accessible thing that they're able to have, and then have it at their house is great.
Why is there a need for this training?
To me, it's sort of like an on-land refrigerator backup to your local reef fish that you typically rely on for protein. And the other benefit is, if you wanted to be sure you know the quality of your fish instead of buying imported frozen fish, you have the benefit of doing this here. Most farmers here, they're growing it for family and for village purposes, so giving to cultural events, falavelave. You can also sell to local stores for cash, and we did a direct test marketing attempt where we took some fish over to a local grocery store that sells reef fish typically, and they sold out in less than 2 hours. They were begging us to bring more. And so there is a history of farmers here in Tutuila taking their fish to the small family stores and selling them as side income. The gap between the cost of paying for frozen imported tilapia and the cost of raising local tilapia have closed because of our local feed program that we were able to set up years ago. And so we're one of the few islands that is able to make feed locally, and it's very cheap for the farmers. They just come in, they can use our machines. We provide the fish meal complements of StarKist, which continues to donate to this program. And then they just need to bring the starch source and a tiny bit of oil, and they make really good high quality feed specifically formulated for tilapia.
Aquaculture is a growing industry. Jobs, resiliency, a new future that honors the past. Building on ancient knowledge and incorporating new technologies and people just like you. Get involved. Start your own aquaculture project, volunteer with a loko i'a, or apply for a paid internship today. Learn more about aquaculture internships and job opportunities on our website at voiceofthesea.org. Follow us on social media at Voice of the Sea TV. Mahalo for watching Voice of the Sea. Exploring Our Fluid Earth is the dynamic curriculum developed by the University of Hawaii's Curriculum Research and Development Group. The award-winning Fluid Earth and Living Ocean textbooks are now interactive and online. New activities, updated content, and a teacher community. Exploring Our Fluid Earth is now freely available. Find out more at exploringourfluidearth.org.